Welcome everybody to Cup with Gup for the final thoughts for the 2023 Genesis Invitational. It is Wednesday morning, February 15th. Hope you had a great Valentine's Day, evening, night, however it went for you guys. Excited. We got a lot, big tournament, big week. Kind of luck boxed my way into 888 tickets tonight in the NBA, so I'm a little pumped for that. Got in on a little $25 satellite, so if I can get one to cash, should have plenty of profit there. But NBA can be tough, especially 10-game slate. So first and most important, we'll get to the golf. If you'd like to join us, use code SMASH, 20% off any package. Includes a 7-day risk-free trial. I think you can get content only if you do the annual with that code to get you down to like $12. Full site, which gives you the green machine, optimizer, golf tools, NFL tools, get you $23 a month, I think, if you do the annual and all that. All the prices up on the site if you want to go check it out. Hit me up if you have questions. Rate and review us on iTunes. I will be doing giveaways during the Players, and then we will have our big March to the Masters giveaway per usual. The free giveaways we do will always come from our rate and reviews on iTunes, and the ones that subscribe and like this video on YouTube. In the comment sections, tell me who wins the Genesis Invitational this year, and if you think Tiger Woods makes the cut, and that'll get you into the drawings as well. Listener League is up. It is about 65-70% full when I'm recording this early Wednesday morning. You'll probably hear it around lunchtime. Go fill it up. Let's fill it up early evening and push to at least keep it at 300 and then push for another big one when we get to the Players here in a few weeks. Bigger payouts, but still same flat payout structure. 3 max only allowed, so go fill it up for us. Appreciate that. Final thoughts for me. Weather, nothing for the main slate. I do think there'll be some thinking on at least the first 2 days of Showdown. Do you prefer normally, especially with Poa greens, earlier the better, fresh greens and stuff like that, but it's going to be chilly. Almost looks like the wind really doesn't look, there's a little bit of wind Friday morning, nothing crazy. So maybe even a little later that day is better. Tomorrow morning, it looks like maybe 2 hours after they go off, or hour after the first group. You still got some fresh greens, but a little bit warmer, maybe that ideal section. There's just really not enough there to factor all that in. So it's kind of a up to you type of deal. Nothing for main slate as far as weather draw or anything for me right now. I'll continue to monitor it and discuss it again on E9 tonight with Kenny Kim for the premium members. And then also my premium articles will come out tonight as well. Trending to be the highest owned. The one thing I will say about the weather is I heard a lot about the rain, all that. From things that I picked up, pressers, I don't know that it's going to be a huge factor. They did have record rain, all that. I do think the course dries out well. They've also had a ton of strong winds this week and here recently that can help dry that course out. I expect it to still play pretty firm and fast, maybe not quite as much. I don't think it's going to be like some kind of slop mess. I don't think they got that much rain this week. They've had a lot of rain year to date, but that's kind of where I am there. Highest owners right now trending Rory, Finau, Rahm, Homa, and Xander. I don't think that's a huge surprise to anybody. You could flip them flip those, the next level down a little bit. I think last night, my Tuesday night thoughts and Slack, had seven guys over 15% owned. So, which is very low. It's very spread out again. There are some pockets though. There's some pockets this week, a little bit more than last week, that you could take some good leverage stands on if you want to. Potential sleeper low own for me, Willie Z, sub 10% right now. I think we all, most are going to be a little bit, I don't want to say afraid, but to go there. I will say I had someone DM me in Twitter and to clarify when I said he wasn't in this field. So he did originally commit back in mid-January or so, but when the field came out, like it always does, Friday at like 4, something like that, the week before the official field. He wasn't in that. That's what I meant on the Smash Factor, meaning he wasn't in on Friday. Then all of a sudden withdrew. He decided not to get into the field for whatever reason. Still don't know what it is per se, but that's what I meant when I said that. To clarify, potential. So he's one of them. Cam Davis, man. Whew, last two tournaments, and that's why he's. I mean, $7,000 and call it 3 to 4% owned is a reason why he's a low owned leverage play. It doesn't look pretty. You worry about maybe an injury or something like that, but if you can kind of plug your nose, hold your nose, and jump in on that one, it could pay a ton of dividends. I mean, he has the game for here. He's done. I mean, he still rates out well for me, even with those. He's done okay. 2 out of 3 made cuts, finished in the 40s. But the biggest deal is at $7K though. So if you get him to make the cut, and and he normally outscores his finishing position because he does make birdies and eagles and stuff like that. Can get a streak here or there. The 7,000s is what makes it interesting, especially with not wanting to dip down into the 6K so much. I think he may get a little slight bump in ownership, just because I think he's one of those guys that people go, well, 3%, 7,000, I'll take a chance on it. If he was 7,900 and 8%, people are probably I'll pass after those last 2 weeks. So he's one to keep an eye on. Kitayama, I mean, I just like him. He's kind of going under the radar. He stepped up on some big moments. He's been close. He was close at the CJ Cup. He was close, a few weeks ago where he was in the final group. Had a bad day, and maybe that's what's on everybody's mind. Pebble, I think it was Pebble. But he just looks like he could play. He's never played here. That's probably the only negative for me. Like I said on Monday, bounce back at the waist with the 23rd again. I mean, he's playing really good golf, and I'm just willing to take some chances there, especially, he's 7,100, and I got him sub 5%. Stallings, another guy, right, same exact price, got him pretty low. He's had some good showings here. Deep dive course history, which, it takes a lot of the putting out of it. Looks at everything else. He was 23rd in the field. I don't mind that. Thigala, a fan favorite at times, DFS, at times, but seems to fairly be going a little bit under the radar. I think Wyndham Clark is I think he's a good pivot off of Clark this week, probably half the ownership, with, I would say, similar upside. Clark looks great on paper. I said that. We just got to kind of see how much steam he's going to get by the time we get to tomorrow morning. Moving up for me, Fitzpatrick, I think he's going lower owned than he normally would just because of the potential neck and all that. I'll take my chances there just because I think this is a tournament he, can do really well in. He's got 30th and a 5th here, $8,300. He made the cut last week and finished 29th. I get it, but yeah, I'll take my chances there. I don't mind that at all. I liked him already. He's just moved up even more for me. Scheffler looks to be probably the lowest owned in the 10K range. I definitely don't mind taking advantage of that. JT, I thought he would be just clear steam, and he's getting talked for sure. But like I said, everything's going to kind of get flat. I will probably only play 2 of Rory, Rahm, JT, and fade. So I'd have 3 if I'm building. Like I'm maxing the $5, and I hadn't decided how many $20 I'm doing. But, I don't want to spread myself too thin out. But the way they got the pricing this week, like there's only what I say, or Monday was 11 guys, 9K and above. Last week it was 14, if I remember right. So, I do want to get a good chunk of those, and there's several that I'm just going to full fade. I don't mind doing that. So, in the 8K range, and I think a lot of people are doing that because the 8K range I talked about last night, in the post and Slack, there's a lot of guys that are going to come in 10% or less. The big steam is Hovland and Spieth, and then a little bit of Scott. He's 3rd, and then everybody else is like, just everybody's picking it. I think they'll pick and choose 1 or 2 or 1 and then drop, right? Because they have either 2 9K, 110, 19, 210, something like that. So that could be something to think about as well. Sung Jae's the last one. He's going to be I think he will right now. I think he'll be the lowest owned 9K and above. Out of those 11, he's going to be right there. If he's not the lowest, one of the top 2 or 3 lowest. And I just, that's a leverage play. He's I say he struggled here. He doesn't have the best history here. When you go look at the numbers, he's gotten better. He finished 33rd last year. He's coming in with as good as form as anybody, or almost anybody. I guess, Roy Ron been doing really well, obviously, and Scheffler's too. But, 18th, the 4th, and 6th. So, really good playing. And if he's going to be that low on leverage play, I don't mind taking some of that. Guys that potential fade are moving down for me. Hovland, I knew he would get steamed up. I think he's he's not directly taking stuff away from JT, but his love definitely. Okay, so he's 8,900. So he's 18. I got him about 17 to 19% right now. I know the recent history here really stands out to most people, and then Spieth, like I kind of mentioned this on Smash Out there. Spieth's $300 less. He's getting a lot, and it's really squeezing out those other guys I talked about. Your Cam Young's, Willie Z's, guys like that. That if you're willing to take your chance, they all have their plus and minuses. You can get a lot of good leverage this week, and I am, because I'd rather get overweight and eat some chalk on your Rory Rahms, Scheffler, maybe JT's, maybe Xander. There's probably a group of 7 there where I want to pick about 5 of them, and then fade some of all the others and come down here because I ate some chalk up top and pivot off of those and go, all right, let me get a Cam Young like last year or somewhere close to it, or Willie Z, $100 more than Spieth at, probably not half the ownership, but, a little less than that. So that Hovland just seems to be a guy that I'm willing to be off of in that situation. Morikawa, nothing changed there for me. Jason Day, I like. He definitely is getting talked up, quite a bit this week. But he doesn't have the best history here. And so I know he's playing really good, but even when he was playing good before, he doesn't – I mean, it's okay, but for he's right there at the top. He's right there around Adam Scott on ownership. And I got him, 50th on deep dive course history for me. And, Scott's a hair more owned, but so much better as course history. I don't mind Dave, but he's a guy that potentially I could be light on or fade just to weed some of those ownership out that I want to get rid of. And then Keegan. And Keegan makes sense, but nothing pops to me. I get it at 7,700. He's a guy in that 7K range that's going to be one of the top 3 or 4 owned that I'm willing to take my chance on, eliminate, and hope it pans out for me. Staying strong, Rory. Flip back over to this page. Cam Young, I'm just going to die on that hill, I guess. If he looks terrible again, then it is what it is. And Cantley. I like Cantley. Cantley's going to be up there, owned. Probably not as much as what some people think. There's so many guys right there in that 86, 87 to 93 that no one's just going to be dramatically owned. And then you still got Finau, $200 more. That's could be one of the top 3 owned. So you just can't all be owned. And I like Cantley this week. He loves this place. I'm willing to, forget last week and move on. Clear leverage plays, I've kind of already talked about him. Scheffler looks to be the lowest owned. Sungjae looks to be the lowest owned. There's 3 that are pretty close to be the lowest owned in 8K, but like I said, there's a lot that are going to be under 10% period. But Rose Hatton and Tom Kim all look to be kind of in the lower of that 8K range if you're looking for some leverage plays. Underdog, 100%, dollar for dollar match, up to $100. Use GUP, GUP. Link is in the description to get you to Underdog and Price Picks. I'll get to Price Picks in a second. The majors for golf best ball is up. $500K in prizes, $100K to first, $10 to enter. You can start doing some drafts there, or at least take a look at it and start thinking of strategy as we get closer to the players and then march into the Masters. Definitely some strategy there because you're all going to have some guys that you may take a chance on hoping they get into all 4 majors, type of situation. But you want to survive, right? So Augusta's going to be the first one where you want to get a good team, and most of that team, you want to hope that they make it, they look like they have a pretty solid chance to move on. So that'll be fun. There's a $3 one too if $10 isn't your kind of bankroll. So that you can go check those out. The Thursday 3-putt is now $40K pot. They're making those bigger with the NFL gone. $10 to enter that. I know some guys like the $5. And entry fee, I've reached out to my rep. We'll see if we can get that back down to 5. A lot of guys like throwing more entries in. We'll see what they say about that. There's some early NFL best ball stuff you want to take a look out there too. Prize Picks, same code, GUP, dollar for dollar match up to $100. My round 1 picks, probably my only exposure to Tiger this week. I'm going to take Tiger over Max McGreevy, birdie or better for round 1. That may be biting trap there, but I'll take my chances. I don't think I get to him in draft. I'm certainly not betting him in or anything like that. We'll see. If I do 150, do I get equal the field? Maybe, but I don't know if I get there at all. Fitz over Herbert, birdie or better. Matsu over Henley, birdie or better. KH Lee over English, birdie or better. Cantley over 4. Birds or better. Fleetwood over 3.5 birds or better. I think I'll pay you 25 extra money or so. And if you get 4 of 6 or better, you get a little bit back. I can't remember the exact deal. 4 or 6, it says on the site though. I think 5 of 6 is double your money back. 4 or 6 is a little bit less than what you pay, but you get some back. So I always like doing 5 or 6 in those. A little bit better odds. Do all the math out. That's what I like to do. I will post every night my plays for that, along with my bets on the website, like I've been doing when we have a normal tournament. Things don't roll over in weather and all that kind of craziness. Doesn't look like we'll have that this week. I think we'll get a normal everybody finishes every day type situation. One and done, my final 5 that I'll be choosing from: Cam Young, Fitzpatrick, Rory, Finau, and Cantley. Certainly can't, say anything if you want to go Rahm, if you want to go Scheffler, JT. There's several up there. I'm kind of mixing guys I think could win this, definitely, obviously, and a little bit lower owned. And then I have like Rory Cantley, I think will be high, maybe Finau. So I think Fitz and Young will be good pivots. I don't think many people will go there. So one of mine will probably have one of those two. And then I'll pick from a little bit more chalky ones. Don't forget, Smash 20% off, includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Come check us out. Come check out Slack. Come check out E9 tonight with me and Kenny Kim. Should be a fun one. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I'll have everything out tonight for the premium members, and we'll talk to you soon.